In recent days, you might have heard about the news of Singapore pools charging a 10-cent surcharge for any PayNow transaction. Now, watch on and you'll know why this is news and why PayNow might change a lot after 3 months. So, it all started on 14 October and you might be wondering, why isn't there a robust debate about this in Parliament? In case you're not aware, one of the job scopes of MPs is to ask questions about certain laws or things in Singapore. They can submit the question and have the government answer them verbally in Parliament, in which if need to, they can also have follow-up questions. But because there are so many questions, some of the answers might come in written form instead. So, an MP asked about this question He asked whether the government is aware of any entities, including Singapore pools, which are exempt or specific circumstances that may exempt an entity from the rules prohibiting merchants from imposing surcharge for PayNow transaction. And, if so, whether the Ministry will consider reviewing the policy framework for exemptions to ensure consistency with consumer protection measures applied to private businesses. This is when it kind of opened a can of worms, because some of us now know that Singapore pools is charging a PayNow surcharge. What you might not know is that PayNow transaction is free, but there are rules that businesses have to follow. But before that, you need to know why businesses love PayNow. Here's the thing, when you make payment with cards, some businesses will give you a black face. It's because if you use a credit or debit card, no matter what card you use, there's always a transaction fee that they have to pay to the payment processor. This can range from about 1% to 4% of the transaction, and if you think about it, it's a lot of money. This is why some businesses don't accept credit or debit card payment, or only allow credit or debit card payment for payments above certain amount. Some will ask you to pay via Nets card instead, which has a lower fee of less than 1%. Of course, the problem is this, do you
still remember your Nets ATM card PIN number or not?
Skibidi, what is Nets card? Skibidi passing no cap.
But PayNow is completely free. If you just use the basics of PayNow without any add-ons, the banks will not charge the business anything. But there was abuse in the past, which led to a new rule. If you are looking to advertise your business in this channel, we can help you. There are guaranteed views and many big brands have trusted us. Just click on the link in the description. You see, before 1st March 2024, there were reports of businesses anyhowly charging customers surcharges even when customers pay with PayNow. For example, back in August 2023, someone posted this image on Facebook whereby the business charges 20 cents for any cashless transaction, including PayNow. Therefore, the rules formalizing PayNow for business use were established and took effect from 1st March 2024. I have included the link of the PDF of the rules in the description of this video, but in a nutshell, here's what you need to know. Businesses are not supposed to charge any fee to the consumers if the consumers pay by PayNow. This is regardless of whether the businesses buy a super big barcode and a soundbox that can shout $2.50 received, payment by the stupid idiot Tan Lam Mao. Businesses that charge any fee due to PayNow will be considered breaking the rule and they might be suspended from using PayNow. Despite that, a few days after the rules took effect, it was reported that a Minimart still charged a 30-cent surcharge for PayNow transaction. And when approached by reporters, someone from the Minimart told reporters that they need to pay $1,000 per month to Nets and they could not afford.
A plate of chicken rice now costs $4.
How is this relevant?
I cannot afford. Can give me 2 batteries because my aircon remote no batteries.
What you tell?
Nabe, 2026 Chinese New Year is on the Tuesday.
So, now you know why the Singapore pool saga is a news, as they have been charging 10 cents for PayNow transaction for years. This is why it said that ABS is aware that Singapore pools currently impose a surcharge on PayNow transaction. ABS, through the relevant PayNow banks, which have a contractual relationship with Singapore pools, have been engaging Singapore pools to address this practice. Just in case you did not know, the PayNow scheme is operated by the Association of Banks in Singapore, kind of like all the banks making the decisions together. Anyways, that might change soon, as MAS and ABS have set up something known as a Singapore Payments Network, an entity to consolidate the administration and governments of Singapore's national payment schemes. I don't know whether this will include PayNow, but most likely yes, although we only know by end 2026 when it's operational ready. Now, is this the PayNow change I mentioned in the beginning? Well, no. You see, it has been mentioned before that PayNow is now free until end of 2025. As to whether PayNow transaction will continue to be free after 3 months, no one knows, unless you are someone who knows this Swiss 4D number. Thank you for spending. Wait. We have often said that a time traveler is someone who can see next week's 4D numbers. Singapore pools announced the 4D numbers. Does that mean? Don't be bold though, if Singapore pools can predict 4D numbers, you have collected over $10 billion every year. Anyways, speaking about merchant fees, this is somehow why buy now pay later can earn lots of money. Watch this and you'll understand. Also, follow me on Instagram if you have not done so, as we publish exclusive short videos there, link in description. And if you want to advertise with us, even as a standalone video, do contact us. Thank you for spending almost 5 minutes with me. I really appreciate it and hope you learned something.